are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights.
Homeboy ain't coming back. He can't kiss his old lady, touch his kids. If you could do that, you blessed. You shouldn't be worrying about nobody or what you got, or you need to keep it real with the hood. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't live in the hood. My homeboy died keeping it real. So only thing I'm gonna keep it real when I go back to the hood is helping the kids and the older people. And all you fake athletes, that's coming out like y'all, when my dog hit y'all know the ones that wasn't real. They had some real ones. I ain't gonna lie. Same thing with rappers. Everybody showing love. It's all good. We get it. But the ones that my dog asked for verses, they ain't never seen it, still probably waiting on it. Yeah, they named the street after my dog. He deserved that, but he deserved that love while he was here. You know what I'm saying? And Chris Dog, how you gonna take that case, dog? That's some whole ass shit, man. We lost a real soldier, man. But the marathon gonna continue.
Who was the man, who was accused of shooting Nipsey Hussle, was officially charged, with the murder of Nipsey Hussle and the attempted murder of 2 other people that day. You see the press conference there. We'll put a few pictures up on the screen. He's being held on $5 million bail today. TMZ leaked the footage earlier today, kind of showed him behind Chris Darden, who ironically was the prosecutor that went to try to take down OJ back when he was so that's a whole nother twist to this whole story. But he behind him, looking nervous, looking scared. A lot of rumors out there saying that he's fearing for his life right now. Should be, obviously, you know what I mean, in that system down there. But yeah, man. So what do you think about these new developments? Today they bringing him in front of the people and pretty much arraigning him.
Well, didn't he plead not guilty, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, not guilty.
Okay,
right.
So he's saying he didn't do it, which is absolutely insane given the fact that we got tapes, we got this, we got that. Obviously pointing him to the crime. I'm thinking my gut's telling me that he's going to go on a route of insanity or try to go that route, crazy route, or plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Like you said, Chris Darden is his lawyer now. We know his resume. That goes without saying. And I don't know, this seems to be becoming more and more a circus amidst all the tragedy that's going on. It doesn't seem like he's going to allow it to go away. Like you said, he fears for life, justifiably so, given where he's at and given what he did. And this is interesting. We'll continue to see what happens. But
yeah,
is there a situation, oh God, or a likelihood that some bullshit comes aroused? And what I mean by that is justice isn't served in this situation.
No, I don't think so. When you look at the not guilty plea, it's usually standard like this early on. Because remember, Tekashi at first it was like not guilty. Everybody pleads not guilty, first until the prosecution to get together, everything in the offer, and they might say, okay, give you a deal and whatnot. They might work it out like that. But nah, I think this is going to be, if he in fact is the one, they have other camera angles and the weapon, which I didn't hear about them recovering the weapon yet. They didn't talk about that. No. If that's, they print it back to him and they can pretty much prove that it's him, I think that justice will be served. Also, you got the other counts that he's being charged for, which is attempted murder. So it's going to be hard for him to get, out of this one. And just to note that he did have a criminal record. People were talking about that back in 2012. He was pretty much, pleaded no contest to carrying a loaded weapon in public. He was sentenced to 180 days in jail and 3 years probation for that. So he has a history of, carrying weapons. But I think it's the standard procedure. I think that with the public outrage with this, what Nipsey meant to the city, and the whole world now, I think that justice has no choice but to be served here.
Oh God, now that this tragedy is happening, we're days removed from it, and it seems like we can't get away from it for some reason. It is real weird. This one is hitting home a lot harder than I think that anybody would have imagined. And I think it's happening because the more that the stories come out about him, you hear the impact that he truly had, not only in his community, but throughout the world, and anybody that he touched or had a conversation or just was involved with or around. He really made an impact on people. And we were talking about it earlier on, that these kind of people you don't want to see go away. That shit hurts. Yeah. That shit really hurts when you see somebody in that environment, raised in that environment, supposed to be statistically destroyed in that environment, come out of there, and not only come out of there, but start growing and planting seeds and watching those seeds grow into something that it wasn't supposed to. When you see something tragic like this happen, the shit wasn't supposed to happen. So it kind of just even goes. And it's a shame that, like I said a couple of days ago, that we're not appreciating him more in life, and we don't appreciate the great ones more in life than we do in death, because now we're sitting here reminiscing on things, and not necessarily that we had to be talking about it, but those conversations that we had privately, maybe we should have sat here and had a little more vocally and just threw them up, even if they didn't do nothing, whatever. Yeah. Because
definitely
the great ones need to be appreciated more.
Yeah. And that's, I think, a lot of people, when they criticize, that, because, we pretty much, see the headline and we talk about what happened, but we sit and we really feel this in the conversations that we have behind the scenes, man. We ain't really all get on the camera, quick to jump on like that.
That's not us.
Right. So it's just like, we feel this, personally from things that happen in our life. So, but the best thing we could take from this, because we're always trying to take, the good with the bad, is just we are similar to Nipsey, and what we do, the entrepreneurial spirit, the activism, doing stuff in the community. So all we could do is just look at his blueprint and try to emulate that and be that and better. I mean, at the age of 33, what Nipsey was able to accomplish, I mean, he did a great work. He left his mark. He left it in his music. He left it, with the literature that he left behind, his children and everything. He has a legacy to leave behind. So even though it's tragic right now, we know that Nipsey can't come back. He left, a trail for people, to be successful, I think, behind him at this point.
It's a fact, man. And it's hard because you stare mortality right in the face, dog. Like we were talking about a little early on. And like you said, man, we're not going to express everything that we talk about behind the scenes on camera. That's just not us. We do a job. We have a passion for what we do, but we understand that line that we draw, and certain things we're just not going to say. But when you look at the transparency between the two, and you look at the work he did for his community and the good that comes out of that, and that's things that we talk about, and you look at what he did for the youth and what we talk about and what we do and what we aspire to do, it's similar. So yeah, like this shit just it hit home, on another level. I want to transition a little bit, not to give the dude any energy, but I don't know if you saw this old guy, Joyner Lucas, somebody that's been affected by this, obviously going on social media, as is a lot of other celebrities, and talking about Nipsey Hussle. And he seemed to know Homeboy a little bit. Homeboy was obviously in his DMs, as you can see right there. How much for a feature, brother? I need it, please. With Joyner Lucas obviously saying, shake my head. Very ironic, but it kind of goes hand in hand when you talk about just jealousy and where he wanted to be. Yeah, it's where you seen he wanted to be in the spotlight. He probably aspired to be where a Nipsey Hussle sat. So talk about that. Does that make you kind of lean or think more toward the line like this is jealousy?
It definitely, leads, me to that. And I was like, what we were saying, sitting here just in the pre-production, kind of just going over what we want to talk about. It led me to think like, okay, he's enjoying the Lucas's, inbox. He's a inspiring rapper. So he's seen Nipsey, and the word on the street is that Nipsey said that you can't be around here, you a snitch. He wanted to give him his demo tape and whatnot. And, when he came back, he thought he had the demo tape maybe, or to come back and prove that he wasn't a snitch, but he had the gun. So it's just like, I think that when Nipsey said that to him, maybe he was looking up to Nipsey so much that it crushed him, and he was in his emotions so much that maybe, this is just my, opinion on it, he went back and he, shot him over that because, remember how we talked about Millionaire Michael Jordan, how he idolized Mike, and then when you seen him, Mike was just a total different person. Maybe he had that. I'm not, definitely not justified for what he did, but maybe that reaction to Nipsey saying that to him being Nipsey, King Nipsey, you know what I mean? Maybe that, triggered this man to do that. So, I look at it those two ways, man. That's the only way I can really, because he's just asking for a feature at the end of the day. It wasn't like, he was like, he wasn't gonna get that answer.
Hell no. And right. A lot of people have been talking about, like Gilly talked about it. I think he might have said it best. It's just when you from the same area, you grind from the same place, and you're not supposed to come up out of that rat hole. Yeah. And you do. And you the one, and Nipsey said this too very well. You're the one that your mother's looking at. You're the one that your community's looking at. And that brings on the sense of pride, but it also has to make you understand that you got to look over your shoulder, because people are never going to be able to do that. And they're looking at you and they were hand in hand. Yeah, they might have beat you in a race when they were kids. They might have did this or got the girls when they there. But now you, as an adult, then took over, and they have no answers, no reason, no rhyme as to why. And that confusion automatically turns to jealousy, turns to rage, and
if that's the case, though, you know what I mean? Which I think that could be the case. You know what I mean? Here, it's like you really gotta be careful, because if just any random person from where you come from is willing just to, you know what I mean, to really just take you out because of jealousy that bad, that's sad, man.
Oh God, that's
sad.
That's what I meant by, and that's kind of where I was leading toward mortality.
We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.